Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today I'm doing Gemstone Numerology. Hi, my name is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. I'm an intuitive psychic medium here in the Sugar Land area. That's just outside of Houston. I work with my angels and guides to assist my clients in many areas of their lives, to bring them special messages from loved ones who have passed, to dialogue with their angels for guidance into their own situation, or to assist them with their own psychic abilities. If you like my content, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. That's right, today I'm doing Gemstone Numerology. So all you really need to know is the day of your birth. And you're going to, if it's a 2-digit number, you're going to add those 2 digits together until you get one number. Okay, so if you were born on like the 28th, you would add the 2 plus the 8 and you would get a 10, and then you add those together until you get a 1. So you would be a birth number 1. So it just kind of is easy to figure out. So take a few moments and figure it out, your birthday. Add those 2 numbers together until you get one number. Just keep going until you get to 1. So this is really fun and kind of a great way to kind of explain some of the stones for yourself that you may really resonate with, that you might not have really thought about. I think that's kind of the interesting part about it. Okay, so here we go. Now that you got your number, here we go. If you are a number 1, it's one of those, your sun is the planet, and the best gemstone for this is like ruby, because it's like on fire like the sun. It improves your luck and kind of like your general like wealth coming in. This can also bring in some other stones as well, like a yellow sapphire, maybe a topaz, because they've got those beautiful brilliant yellow colors to them, kind of like that fiery red orange color of the sun. And this can also be used to benefit your health as well, because you really require that sun energy to kind of keep you motivated and going. Because ruby is really associated with the sun, because you've got that red glow. It is a very strong and very effective, valuable stone. Rubies should be worn on your right hand, and it should be set in gold, because gold has the most sparkly energy with it. And ruby stones can be worn, I would say as a pendant, but I would say like on your right hand would probably be the best place to put your ruby stone. So I'm going to do some angel cards for each one and get us a little bit more information about our number 1 person. And these are usually like figured out pretty quickly. If you're born on the 1st, like the 10th, the 19th, and like the 28th, you're going to be a 1. So one of my cards is power. Literally, because you're powered by the sun, you've got this great energy coming in. So it's one of those, anytime that you really need a repowerment or a recharge, make sure that you're heading out towards the sun. If it's artificial sunlight or regular sunlight, it's one of those you require being out in the sun for several minutes every day. I think that's kind of the interesting part of it. And I'm a number 1, and I'm the same way. As soon as the sun starts coming out, I'm like, okay, let me go get in the sunlight for a little bit. Next for a number 1 person is meditation. Meditation works really well for us. It really does set our energy in the right tone, in the right format for us, and really kind of helps us focus in on what's really important, because we can be a little scattered. Kind of like the sun, we can be all over the place. So can our energy. So let's look at a number 2 energy. You are controlled by the moon and the energy of the moon. It's one of the lucky ones for you is kind of your pearl. That's kind of like your lucky stone that you can use. If you can't wear pearls, some people can't. Some people have an allergic reaction to them. I thought, interesting. You can wear white sapphire or quartz crystals. These are good kind of like alternatives. Besides that, I will tell you also, moonstone is a really great one for you as well. Pearls can really calm you down and decrease any anger. So if you're going to be going into a situation where you know that you're going to be angry and you need to keep your calm, cool head collected, that would be your stone. I will say also that this can really help with, for number twos, it can really help with depression, memory loss, and really fears coming up. A lot of times fears have like this energy that keeps coming up around them that's all about fear. So let's do some cards for our number twos. I got a couple of them pop in here. The first one for number twos is answered prayers. It's one of those, our prayers are answered, and I would think mostly by our energy. And so when we have the best energy and we're asking for the best possible prayers for us, that is going to amp up our energy. And then make sure that you spend some time out in the moonlight, at least a couple of times a month, getting out in that moonlight and kind of just absorbing some of that moon energy. The next one is signs. Our moon gives us signs all the time about what we should be doing, how should we be feeling, and releasing our emotions. A lot of times people kind of keep those emotions kind of deep hidden, and it shouldn't be. They should be right on the outside so we can open up to that energy all the time. So let's talk about three people. Usually three people are really connected to yellow sapphire or topazes. This is a really good gem for you because it really prevents accidents. It's one of those, I will tell you too, that a lot of number threes are really accident prone. And so this kind of can really bring in some amazing kind of like self-awareness for us, especially that yellow sapphire. I will tell you that one of the things it also does is kind of help with addiction. Sometimes threes can be a little addictive energy. It's one of those, sometimes it can also provide like just that mental calmness or a tranquility that we're all kind of looking for at times. Knowing that we will be also bestowed money, success, beauty, knowledge, and good fortune to whoever wears like yellow sapphire, topazes. It's one of those that kind of just draws it into you. So make sure that you're using your stones appropriately. I would do a yellow sapphire as either a pendant, you know what I'm saying, close to your throat, because that's going to give you a great voice to come out. But I will also tell you that it's also closer to your mind to kind of help with accidents or addictions coming out. So it's kind of, let's take care of those. So number threes, here are your angel cards. And this one is popping out of the bottom. Here we go. Number three is all about truth and integrity. As long as you're staying in your truth, and that's why that yellow topaz or that yellow sapphire near your throat is going to voice those things out for you, kind of give you that voice that you've been looking for. And sometimes voices that you've really required letting out. Friendships. Number threes really make great friendships, but a lot of times like addictive energy will really kind of run other people off if they're not addicted to the same thing. If they're not addicted to skating like you are, it's kind of like they're like, okay, we've done this 5 days in a row, let's do something else or something else. So kind of those three people can be really addictive energies. Doesn't mean it's always a bad addiction. It's just sometimes I have a number three who's addicted to Mexican food. I know. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love Mexican food, but not that much. It's good. It's good, but it's not that great. I know. Okay, so number four people are ruled by a stone called hesytite. I had to look this one up because I was like, I have not heard of this one. It's a beautiful stone, and it should be worn either on the middle finger or on the little finger, or as a pendant around your neck. But I would say this one is really good around like your heart. It's one of those, wearing this can really help you advance your career, help you move forward in your career, your profession, and your finances, kind of bringing in that money. And that's where you want it on around your fingers to kind of bring in that money for you. This will help you develop like your own willpower and your self-confidence. This can also help you accomplish things or assignments on time, resulting in like total success. So it's one of those, like if you're a number 4 and you get your hesitite, it's one of those, make sure that you're wearing it around your, right down here, way down here, or on your fingers to kind of bring in wealth and abundance. So that's going to be a great one for you. Let's see, for number 4s, the first one is trust that you're going to win. Trust that you've got this success coming in at you, and that's always a good one. And I think that's because it's really around your heart chakra, and this is really important to kind of open up that heart chakra to bring in that wealth, that abundance, and that self-confidence as well. Your next one is new love. It's one of those, number 4s really love succeeding. And so this is going to bring in that love of success, love of succeeding in whatever you put your energy into. Okay, so let's go into number 5s. 5s are ruled by Mercury. And so kind of the Mercury energies are kind of like emeralds or diamonds are your kind of like lucky stones. Emeralds are jewelry that can be useful to you by improving your brain and your knowledge. So that's where something you would want to wear up like high on your throat to kind of infuse, or as earrings. If you've got an emerald earring, that would do as well. It's one of those, diamonds can be, of course, worn anywhere, but it really depends on what you're trying to amp up at the time. The other one is, if you can't really necessarily afford like an emerald or a diamond, because those are kind of expensive at times. It doesn't have to be a huge one either. It can be a small one. Green onyx would be an alternative. And it's also suitable for both gold and silver settings. So it's kind of like brings that in. But that green onyx is going to be bringing in that Mercury, because it's got that flow of energy like Mercury does. So make sure that you are bringing in your lucky stones and improving your brain power and your knowledge. This is going to really amp you up and really bring some great luck into you. Number 5s are usually people that are winning the lottery. I know it's one of those fun facts. Let's see. I've got 2 right here popping up. So these are for 5s. This is freedom. 5s love freedom, and I think that's one of the reasons why they kind of end up winning the lottery, because, and most of the 5s I've known have won the lottery or won more than one time, or even if it's the scratch offs, they're winning money. So it's kind of like they constantly have that freedom of what do they want to purchase, what do they want to buy with their money. Divine guidance. The diamonds are always divinely guided, and they are one of the best crystals for amping up your personal energy. They could almost go for anyone, but especially for 5s, they're really, really powerful. Okay, so for our 6 people, they are ruled by the planet Venus, and their most beneficial one is diamonds. Diamonds. It's one of those, they can either be worn with white or yellow gold, and it's usually better to have it on your middle finger instead of your relationship finger. Wearing diamonds can help us strengthen our bond between our husband and our wives, our husband, spouses, all that kind of stuff. But it can also kind of really amp up our energy as well. Like I said, those diamonds are really lucky stones, and it's one of those, it can really amp up those energies. I will say, if you can't afford a diamond, it's one of the alternatives to this would be a quartz crystal, and wearing that as close to your heart as possible. So as far low as you can on your chest. That is going to amp up your luck in that area and really bring in some amazing energy. They're not exactly the same, but they are in this case a little bit interchangeable. So let's do a couple of cards for our number 6 people. Number six. Number 6 is ideas and inspiration. This is going to be amping up. Like I said, diamonds are all about like your thinking, bringing things in, and really bringing up ideas and inspiration to keep you and your spouse connected. So I think that's kind of a really fun one, because most people are married end up with diamonds, at least one. Doesn't have to be 50, it has to be one. I will tell you, 6 people also really love support, and that's why they usually are in a bonded relationship, usually by marriage. And it's one of those because they feel completely supported in that energy, and they really require that support from others. So let's go to a 7 energy. 7 energies are ruled by the planet Neptune, and it's one of those, it's regarded as one of the most significant or mysterious numbers. Cat's eye is one of them that is really a great gemstone for number 7s, and they may help you achieve things in life. I will tell you that wearing tiger's eye can really amp up your psychic abilities, and it can also kind of really amp up what you're desiring in your life, and kind of giving you that insight, that cat's eye insight into what you should be doing or saying, and it's going to give you a great way to do that. Now, cat's eye doesn't really have to be really super close to you, so you could have it on your desk if you have a cat's eye stone or a crystal ball or something like that. So it doesn't have to necessarily be on your body. If it is, it's one of those, it's best if it's on your relationship finger, because that's really going to help bring up your relationship with your psychic abilities. I know, interesting. So let's do a couple of cards for our 7 people. So the first one for our 7 people is enchantment. It's kind of like that kid's energy, that enchanted eye look of just bringing in some amazing energy for us. And it's one of those, like that mysterious enchanting eye of what are we going to be looking for, and how are we going to find our insights into the world around us. Music is always drawn into number 7s. They are kind of drawn to that music. And I will tell you, kind of one of the secret things is number 7s usually have an amazing voice. And a lot of times they really don't have like an outstanding voice, like, oh my gosh, they've got a voice that booms everywhere. They've got this voice that everybody listens to. It's one of those, it's not too high, it's not too low, it's that perfect right in the middle. And that's part of that music, is it's very melodic rhythm to it. Let's go into an 8 person. An 8 person is ruled by the planet Saturn. So one of the great ones about Saturn is it has some beautiful ones. Sapphire is one of the most beautiful stones that is drawn to number 8s. It is really considered lucky. It's one of those, this is a strong gemstone that will propel the wearer kind of to the next level of achievement, kind of like pushing you to kind of keep going. Saturn is all about our structure, and so it's kind of really amping up that structure for him, of kind of like, this is how to succeed, or this is how to get to the next level. Sapphires can also aid in the treatment of chronic ailments like rheumatoid arthritis, and loss of energy. So just know that this is kind of one of those, this is kind of those balancing energies. Blue sapphire, also set in a silver, it is a great one to wear. And I will tell you, it's a great one to kind of amp up your own power by wearing it on your middle finger, which is all about your God-given gifts. This is a great one to wear during that time frame, and wear it as much as you possibly can. I think they look really amazing in silver myself, so I think it's just one of my favorites. With the blue and the silver kind of make this great, beautiful contrast. So let's do some angel cards for our 8 people. This is romance. Of course, we've got some romance in here. Blue is such a beautiful color for a stone, and it can really amp up your luck in your department of relationships, and it can also bring in a great side of just kind of like bringing that enhancement of our God-given gifts to find that great person for balancing us. It can also amp up their dreams as well for 8 people. It's one of those, and kind of their dreams are usually kind of, let's move to the next level, let's go, how do I get there, and kind of always thinking about, like, it doesn't always have to be like career related, it could be relationship related, like just started a relationship and I want to move to the next level. Okay, so our last one, our number 9s, last but not least, our number nines are corals. And I will say this is really, a coral is formed by kind of insects deep in the ocean that are there. And it's one of those, so this can really help like our blood circulation. It can bring up a lot of good fortune as well, because a lot of corals kind of have to come into that area. Corals also provide us with that diplomacy, kind of like, because there's so many different aspects and so many different ones come together to kind of bring this amazing coral energy to us. Avoiding needless conflicts and kind of like rising above or opting into peace and tranquility. This might be a great one that if you're kind of like ready to win, or you're ready to kind of like amp up your energy to kind of move forward, this is a really great one. One of the things that's really important about corals is there are different price ranges. So it's one of those, it kind of really bestows a lot of, there is no like, oh my gosh, you have to have this one or anything else. But as long as it's a coral, a true coral out of the ocean, it's going to really bestow good health and wealth to the wearer. Let's see. Let's do a couple of cards for our 9 people. This one is popping out. And this is all about our guardian angel. Our angels are kind of like the coral. It's one of those, they kind of crawl out and kind of come in and really protect that energy around us, and really kind of really amp up our luck, and really kind of bestow a great love and kind of like that abundance of bringing things together. The next one is study. What is it that you really want to learn about a 9? It's one of those bringing in lots of peace, and to do that you have to understand the other side. So kind of studying the other side of what can you really amplify with this energy, and what can you do to modify some of this energy. It's like, what else can I know? What else can I learn from this? Those are great ones. I will tell you that kind of numerology birthstones are kind of really a great way to kind of look at finding a new stone for someone different, kind of out of the ordinary, maybe something that you haven't really thought of in a while. This can bring up powerful effects depending on where they wear it on their body, and it can really bring up some very lucky stuff for us. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.